What you're about to see is a world record attempt at lies from a pro-Corbyn advocate. Eddie Dempsey provides a non-stop medley of every lie Corbyn has ever created about who he is and what he represents. It's a tapas of bullcrap. It's smash hits Best of Corbyn's Lies 2018. Now that's what I call bullshit. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you the Maradona of talking out of his backside, the new undisputed champion of the lie, Eddie Dempsey.
Well, I'm just pointing out the Chief Rabbi's politics. I mean, they're extreme far-right politics.
What? Well, I guess in a world where Jeremy Corbyn is considered the world's biggest anti-racist ever, Chief Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks would have to be a far-right extremist. I guess.
What happens is some hack journalist breaks a story attacking Jeremy Corbyn, and then it's picked up by right-wing voices who pile on to try and create a hysteria around it. The idea that Jeremy Corbyn is anti-Semitic is laughable. Anyone that knows him in the Labour movement knows that is ridiculous. He spent his entire career fighting against racism and bigotry and championing the rights of people who are oppressed. And it's precisely because of that he's being attacked. Because what they fear most is a political leader in this country who actually does stand up for the rights of the Palestinian people, who actually does stand up for the rights of the working class people in this country. And so that is why he's being attacked.
What exactly did Eddie Dempsey mean when he said?
Because what they fear most is a political leader in this country who actually does stand up for the rights of the Palestinian people, who actually does stand up for the rights of the working class.
Now, why would the media be afraid of people standing up for Palestinian rights and the working class? Why would that bother the British media? What kind of a person do you think Dempsey is trying to paint when he suggests that the media opposes the poor and the Palestinians? To me, it sounds suspiciously like those rich, heartless Zionists that anti-Semites keep reminding us control the global media. But it gets much worse.
But if we have a look at Lord Sacks, I mean, he attends the March of the Flags in occupied East Jerusalem, where it was described in Haaretz as a gender-segregated, religious, far-right extremist carnival of hate. This is not a person who is credible to pass judgment on Jeremy Corbyn, considering his political opinions on the entire thing. He's a far-right extremist, and if you behave that way in this country, you'd be thrown in jail.
Rabbi Sacks was the religious leader of the Anglo-Jewish community for 22 years. For 22 years, he led British Jews, during which he won numerous awards for his interfaith work, such as his book, The Dignity of Difference. I mean, he even won the Templeton Prize. You know, that same prize that Mother Teresa, Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama won?
This period of Al-Andalus and under benign Muslim rule was one of the most, not only one of the most benign convivencia living together, but one of the most intellectually and spiritually creative in all of the Middle Ages. I think what really improves relationships is when we as individuals take the trouble to get to know our Jewish or our Muslim neighbors. Tip O'Neill said all politics is local. I think all great interfaith is local as well. Jews always end every set of prayers with a prayer for peace. It's our highest hope, but we know it tends to come last. But we always say this prayer, and this is the prayer I share with Muslims, Jews and Christians and people of other faiths throughout the world. Oseh Shalom Bimramav. May God who makes peace in his high places help us make peace down here on earth.
The idea that Rabbi Sacks is far right is an absolute farce. He hasn't just built bridges between Jews and Muslims in this country, but he actively campaigns for better relations between Israelis and Palestinians. Dempsey is a lying snake. Rabbi Sacks doesn't oppose the Palestinians. In his words, he supports their right to a state.
I support the right of Palestinians to a state of their own, and the right of Palestinian children to a future of dignity and hope.
Dempsey lies and lies and lies and lies, and then after that, he lies some more. His entire argument revolves around the claim that Rabbi Sacks took part in a march through East Jerusalem. He didn't. Yet Dempsey's fake outrage turns to deathly silence whenever his dear leader meets with Hamas. And he's done that numerous times. He met with the leadership in Doha, he's met them in the West Bank, he's met Hamas in Gaza. And Dempsey is silent when his dear leader calls genocidal terrorists like Hamas and Hezbollah his friends. Dempsey is silent when his dear leader lays a wreath on the grave of terrorists that murdered Jews. Make no mistake, when Dempsey attacks Chief Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks, he's attacking all of British Jews.